Right, we should be live. Right, guys, welcome to the first TRB success interview of 2023. Today, I'm joined by a client called Paul Watson, who's had a remarkable transformation over the past 12 weeks, dropping 40 pounds, putting a number on it, but there's more to it than that, and he's happy to share his journey today. So do you want to just give a quick intro, a little bit of background about you, Paul, and then we'll get started?
Hi, Chris. I'm Paul. So I'm a single dad. I've got my own business. I work in property. I have some properties that I own and let out and manage. I also do some football projects. I work in football. I'm very fortunate. I work with clubs and players and agents and fans groups and all sorts of people, doing a little bit of consultancy, a little bit of intermediary work, assisting players, a bit of a mentor. So I'm a busy guy.
Yeah, I think what you did in the past is really relevant as well, because we're going to touch upon that.
Yeah. I mean, my background from when I left school was professional sport. I was very fortunate and played football for a number of years. And then I have found out, like, through this course, the importance of that and probably the benefits that I get from that I maybe didn't realize beforehand.
So I think it's relevant to bring up because men in particular find it hard to ask for help. But then when you've got a professional sporting background, as you'll explain, like, your mindset is, I don't need help, I can do this on my own, yada yada yada. So I think that's really relevant to bring up.
Yeah, I think especially when you get to my age, I think the world's changing slightly a little bit for younger people, but certainly my sporting background was never, it was an environment where it was very macho, it was very tough, it was very get on with it, pick yourself up and keep going. Any sort of struggles that you had was potentially seen as a sign of weakness, so you kind of hid those and kind of tried to deal with them yourself. And I think anyone that watches the news and sees some of the young footballers and stuff that are about just now, they speak a little bit more openly about their struggles. I saw Jesse Lingard, interview the other day with Stephen Bartlett, about some of his things, and people don't understand that. They think that you're super wealthy, super lucky, you've got nothing to complain about. Well, I wasn't super wealthy. I mean, when I played, it was the mid 80s to the sort of mid late 90s. There was absolutely no money. There were people that had what you would term traditional jobs that were making a lot more money than I was. And then as you get older, you kind of slip down the leagues maybe, and you're playing part-time, and you're working and playing, and things start to snowball. So you have to deal with a lot of things there. But I think through this process, I kind of realized the importance of exercise to me for my mental health, but also, we might touch on it later, it crossed over and affected so many different other parts of my life, not only my home life, but my business life and stuff as well. So
Cool. So let's start, if you can remember, 3 months ago. Can you try and paint the picture for anybody who is tuning in, like, whereabouts were you at in your life, what was going on, etc.?
Sick as a chip.
Sick as a chip.
Yeah. I must have been tough to live with and tough to deal with, looking back now, and all credit to my daughter, my family, my friends, and my partner. I was actually annoying myself with the way that I was behaving. I was like, there was so many things that was just getting on top of me. Everything seemed to be an absolute challenge. The most simple, mundane thing would become a big, massive thing. And so if I couldn't deal with that would then roll over onto tomorrow, and there'd already be another 10 things that I had to deal with then. So then it would be 11. Then if I couldn't do half of those, that would be 5 going on to the next day. So there would be 15 to do. And it was just getting worse and worse. And I was finding myself increasingly frustrated, increasingly snappy and short and angry. And I can remember like phoning up some people, to try and get some stuff sorted, like phoning up an energy company to deal with some problem of us. the frustrations you're on hold for ages. You eventually get through to them, and
Oh, that's my pet hate.
yeah, and you're having a go at them, and you're thinking this has really got nothing to do with this person. You know what I mean? They're just
Trigger, innit?
like
Yeah.
they're just trying to, and you're hanging the phone up, going, "Ah, Paul, you just not coping with life." Do you know what I mean? And then you write that on the to-do list for tomorrow, and it would just snowball and snowball. I think I kept kind of fooling myself a little bit, thinking, right, okay, I can change this, I can sort this out, stay calm. This isn't doing you any good. Stay relaxed. But you don't. You think you can. You don't really know what to do. And then I started thinking, I need to do something. I need to do something. I know I'm annoying myself. I know I'm annoying everybody else. I can't be bothered with people. I don't want to speak to anyone. You don't want to speak to someone because you don't want to have to deal with whatever it is that they give you. And you're saying to yourself, no matter what it is, I know it'll be trouble for me, and I know it'll be problematic, and I know it'll be an issue. And it isn't really. So you start to catastrophize everything, and you start to think everything's going to be a problem. And so then when you're dealing with it, and you look at it, it does become a problem. So I kind of thought, I need to do something. And, and I had put some weight on. I wasn't feeling great about myself.
You mentioned a few weeks ago on our coaching call something about the insanity cycle. Can you remember that? Because you described it really well, but can you put it into your words what you meant?
I don't know if I can kind of remember that. It was
below insanity.
I think they say the definition of insanity or madness is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Yeah, so you do that for a little while. You think, right, I can sort this and it'll get better, and it doesn't. I can sort this, it'll get better, and it doesn't. So that's not insanity. But I think I kind of thought where I was, insanity had gone. There was no insanity. You suddenly get to a point where you go, there's nothing I can do. I'm not doing anything. It's not getting any better. Everything seems to be getting worse. Everything seems to be getting on top of me. I'm not coping with this at all. So then what happens is you don't sleep. You don't think about things properly. Everything's a problem. And you're trying to run a business, and the smallest thing that crops up, instead of you being able to deal with that and ride with it like you should, and like hopefully touch wood I do now, it doesn't. It just knocks you. It totally derails everything, all your plans, all your relationships, all your hopes for what you want to do, all your sanity, really. And you just find yourself in this place when you stop, you think, what am I doing? This can't be right. I thought I need to change something. So I did a couple of wee bits of research on some stuff. I had seen some of your videos and some of your marketing stuff and what have you. I had seen that previously and thought, that looks quite good, but I can deal with it myself. I don't need that. I'll be fine. I don't need any help. And then I thought, right, well, maybe I need to go and get a personal trainer, lose a bit of weight. That might make me feel a bit better. And then I thought, well, it's going to be like painting. I think I said this to you as well. It's like painting outside your house. It's just, the house is still the same on the inside. You just a different coat of paint. I thought, if I do that and lose a bit of weight, it's not going to sort what I'm thinking and what's my plans and what am I going to do, and I've got all these worries. And so I kind of I watched a video, a kind of bit like this that you'd done with one of your.
Yeah, I think he's called Kev.
Yeah,
office guy.
Kev, yeah, I think it might have been him. Yeah, I was just listening to him, and the things that he was saying, I was like, that's exactly what I think. It's exactly what I do. And I think he'd maybe come out the other side of the programme as well. It was only 3 months, wasn't it? 12 weeks. Yeah. And he was very positive about stuff and said that the things that had done to him were the things that I was thinking I needed done to me. So that's when we sort of reached out and had this initial call. And I think I was even still a bit not skeptical, or maybe dismissive is the word.
Yeah, I remember on our consultation, Paul was just about to leave. He was making notes. I was giving him tips.
Yeah.
Like, right, I'll do this, then this and this.
Yeah.
Paul, can I be honest with you, you need some help.
Yeah, I know. I remember you saying that, and I think at that point I said, all right, do you know what? Yeah, let's just go for it. Let's get it done. One of the reasons I had done that as well was I had a couple of business meetings just after the summer, and I was speaking to a sort of work acquaintance, and she was talking to me about. I'd said to her, "So why did you get quite a successful business and stuff?" And I said, "Why? How did you make that first step?" Because I was thinking I need to do some stuff. I want to do some stuff next year. I want to do some stuff now about moving on. And she said she signed up to one of these like business clubs or something, and she went along to a talk, didn't even want to go, didn't do that, but just heard something from someone who just gave that one wee bit. And she said she went back to the office and said, I'm going to invest in this. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to take a leap of faith and do it, And that was kind of one of the things I thought, I'm going to start to do things, I'm going to start to make plans and try them. Yeah. And that's when you said that, and I was like, right, come on, let's just, that was kind of all happened around about that time. And I just thought, let's get this sorted and have a go. And it was definitely a good thing. I would say if anybody's thinking about it, if you don't feel well, you go to the doctors. If you have an accident, you go to the hospital. If your car breaks down, you take it to the garage. You can't deal with everything in life on your own. You just absolutely can't. And nobody thinks bad about going to the doctors and the doctor giving them some medicine to make them feel better. But so if you're sitting in a place where you're thinking about these things that are not quite right, there's nothing wrong with going and getting a wee bit of personal medicine, personal help, just to sort of help you see what you're doing. And I'm glad I did it. It was good.
Unfortunately, most men, myself included, when I first hired my first coach, I was at a breaking point, like really in a bad place. And that's when people take action, unfortunately, like when it gets too much. So I think you were at a breaking point as well, weren't you, on the consult?
Do you know what it is? You're just absolutely sick. You just don't know. You don't know what to do. You need to do something. You don't really know what it is. You can't be, but you're worried how long it's going to take. You think, how am I going to get from where I am just now to where I want to be? That's going to take forever. I'm not going to be able to do it. Maybe it'd be better just blooming chucking it or doing something else, or and you end up thinking bad thoughts about what it is that you want to do. You end up making bad decisions about your business. Your relationships start to get strained at the side because you're always busy. I think one of the things we talked about during the course, you look back on these things now and you think, oh my God, so I do a lot of work from home, and I'm always seem to be on the phone, always on chats, always on calls, always texting and always emailing people. And I think it's like halfway through the course, I'd kind of tried to sort that out and calm down a little bit with that. And my daughter I think I was telling you when I was sitting downstairs, my daughter came down, she was getting in the kitchen, she gave me a high five.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, remember we talked about that. She gave me a high five, and previously I think she would have just walked past me, walked in to get and walked out again upstairs. She gave me a high five, and I was thinking, first of all, you're thinking, what's she done? She's done something wrong. Yeah. So then you're thinking, right, maybe it's not. Maybe it's you realise you're calming down a little bit. Realise you're changing. Yeah, realise you get a wee bit more about you. You're starting to look at things differently. And then, without going into too much about the course, there's certain things in the course that you're encouraged to do, and you start doing them, and you start to see the benefits. You start to spend a bit of time with your family in a kind of different way, and you start to enjoy things, and you start to look at things, and they do it as well. So I've had lots of positive comments from people, saying, not just you look better. You've lost a bit of weight, and you look healthier, but you look happier, you look a bit smilier, you're a bit more approachable.
Yeah.
I often think people didn't really want to get into an argument with me. Do you know what I mean? Or have a real serious discussion about stuff, because it didn't end well. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't be bothered with them. I'm very pig-headed, very very set in my ways, you know what I mean? And so I think people now are a lot more approachable. I think I'm a lot more approachable, and maybe realise, that I'm maybe getting back to being my old self that I maybe was a while ago, that I'd maybe lost for a bit. And I'm thankful for that, because makes me behave differently. You know, it makes your relationships and your friendships and stuff better. And I think I was just telling you on our last call that as part of my work, I just went and cold introduced myself to somebody who's probably one of the most sought after sort of guys in world football at the moment. You know, just confident, just up to go, higher. Oh, how are we doing? This is what we're doing. Had a good chat with a guy, and off the back of that, we've got a meeting set up and going on. So, you know, that's it. Doesn't matter if anything comes from that, but I know stuff will come from it. But it's just that's just an example of, you know, getting back to yourself and feeling confident in yourself and being nice and stuff like being a better version of probably what I was 3, 4, 5 months ago, certainly.
So did you have any concerns before joining? Most men do. Like, trust is a major part of anybody actually asking for help. Like, what were your concerns at the start?
Yeah. Would I be able to achieve what I wanted to achieve?
Was it more so you, or was it me? Obviously, it's both.
I don't really think it was you. I think I remember saying to you, like, you're obviously from the northeast of England, and I do a lot of work down there, and I live down there myself. So the accent was kind of, I was
Right,
okay. That wasn't a big issue. Might have been for you listening to me, but you know, the accent, it's kind of, I do a lot of work with people in the northeast, so that wasn't really the issue. And I'd seen some of your results and some of your marketing stuff and researched you a little bit, and so I knew your journey and what you had been doing. But I think probably what I was more concerned about is this a waste of time?
Right.
Am I going to achieve the results that I want to achieve? Is this just hocus pocus BS? You know, is this just nothing? Am I going to be able to stick to it? Will I stick to it? Because I've not a bad, well, I suppose it is a bad habit. I have a bad habit of saying, right, okay, I'll try this, and very quickly dismissing things, dismissing people. Don't know what they're talking about. Not interested. Not listening. Don't want to do that. I'm not doing it. It's not working thing. And there's nothing wrong with making quick decisions and doing that, but you need to make them when you're, you know what I mean, when you have the facts as best you can and you're in a good frame of mind. And I was kind of worried. I knew I wasn't in a good frame of mind and stuff. And I thought, is this just going to be another thing that's gone in my diary that's just going to clutter me up, that I'm going to be snowed under even more? Do I really need to add something into my workload in my life just now? So that was the kind of concerns, but I kind of knew I wanted to do something. As I said, I had a wee bit of encouragement to try and, you know, just do stuff, you know. So
that leads us nicely on to what was different about this program.
It was I found the actual, right, we should do this, we need to do this week we're going to do this week we're going to do this week we're going to look at this. I found that quite easy to do. I found it quite easy to manage. I found it quite easy to,
like, step by step, wasn't it? Drip.
Yeah. I found it easy to fit into my schedule, and because we had regular contact and we had a set in stone, you know, meeting where we would meet like this and chat. You know, that was good. It was time scaled, and it was, right, this is what you're doing for this week. And I remember at one point, I think through week 3 or something, I already started to lose a bit of weight. I was feeling a lot better, a lot more positive. And you're like, whoa, just relax.
Yeah.
Just take it easy. You know, this isn't it now, because all the things that we addressed in the rest of the program, which I really feel the benefits of now. You know, I hadn't really thought about them and learnt them, and we hadn't covered them, and I hadn't discussed those kind of things.
So there are issues, not just
you're like, just take your time, just do it. Trust me. This is we'll review it again at the end of the 12 weeks. You know, and I promise you, we'll be where we had agreed on that first call and on week 1, you know, where I wanted to get to. And you're like, trust me, just take it easy. And you get frustrated. And I think that's why guys do things and don't, and chuck it. Do you know what I mean? So like you might think January, I go to the gym a lot now and they're all there. all the January New Year
Okay.
resolution 40 hours. Some of them are starting to drop off already. So you see them pitching up in January and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And they expect that they'll lose 3 stone in weight in like the first month or the first couple of weeks. And they don't, and they're like, so that was handy, just having that structure, knowing that it was going to take me this length of time.
I think you understand now, Paul, but people think it's surface level stuff, it's diet and exercise, when really it's the stuff what's triggering the likes of stress, which sabotages those things.
I think
those problems that make exercise and diet like easy.
Yeah, do you remember? I think one of the week, I don't know, was it week 3, week 4? Might have been week 4 or 5 or something. I remember coming on saying, "Yeah, I've just discovered something," like I'd discovered fire, like I'd discovered. Sat in the bath and it was a eureka moment. I remember thinking it's got nothing to do with weight. It's got nothing to do with weight.
That as well, yeah.
I remember saying that it's got nothing to do with weight. This is the way that I'm feeling. Is it's not because I've lost weight. The way I'm feeling is because I've made the changes and the mindset that I have now, which is by a coincidence and because of what I'm doing, I'm losing weight. It was a kind of strange one to get your head around at first because you think, oh, I want to lose 2 stone, I want to lose 3 stone, I want to lose whatever. But isn't it that? Because you could do that, as I said, you paint the outside of the house, you still have these thoughts, you'd still be struggling to deal with, certain parts of your life and certain parts of your business and the way that you're thinking about things. So I think that's what really helped. It was a realization that, yeah, I'm losing some weight and feeling a bit better, and that's making health changes to me. But it was what I found the most beneficial was the exercising and what we did during the week to try and kind of sort your headspace out and what you were doing and what you were thinking and why you were thinking certain things and why you were behaving in certain ways. And I found that really helpful. And I think I probably still need to work on that and a lot of it, but I certainly feel a lot more able to do it and feel better for it. Yeah.
That's how you achieve true transformation.
Yeah. I mean, I've done that in the past. You've lost weight, like you were saying, what about these things? People try this Atkins style, right? I'm not going to eat bread. I'm not going to eat chips. I'm not going to eat rice. I'm going to just eat chicken and whatever. Lose half a stone, maybe lose a stone, maybe lose a stone and a bit. Let's get back on, man, because everything that was causing you to sit up late at night worrying, watching telly, eating a packet of biscuits and stuff that's still there. And if you don't know how to deal with that and you think about it the same way, it's just going to go back. So I'm hopefully now at the end of it thinking about things a little bit differently, looking at things a lot more positively, feel a lot more able to cope with that. I think there's been challenges in the last wee bit that I think I've said to you at the time that would have just nobody would have been able to come near me. You know what I mean? I would have just been this ball of anger and frustration sitting at a laptop trying to sort the unsortable. And now it's kind of slightly different. I kind of, I'll do as best I can and get it done, and I will get it done, and I feel confident. I'm not daft. You know what I mean? You don't start your own business. You're not an adult in the modern world if you're daft and really make stupid decisions and what have you. You're not. So I know that I can deal with things. I know I can make good decisions. I know that I will sort whatever comes sort of my way. I'll deal with it, as best I can, and that'll get me through. So I'm not really worried about anything. Fingers crossed at the moment, so I feel quite confident and positive looking forward.
So when I talk about the program, I say we don't do diets, and I don't think people believe it. So in your words, what do we do?
we certainly don't. We don't do diets. No. I think what I'll know now after the program is the connection between what it was that I was eating, how that was affecting me physically, and how it was affecting me mentally, and little small things that I can do to change that would make a massive difference. And it's quite good. I've become a little bit of an evangelist myself. I've been telling a few people you know, a couple of the wee things that I did that have really made a massive difference to me. So it's not a diet. It's like, I don't know. It's like if you were standing on the top of a tall building, jumping off and landing on your head, and then getting up again and going doing it again, and then doing it again. If somebody went, do you know what? Turn around and go down the stairs. Do you know what I mean? You might think, all right, okay, I didn't really think of that. That's going to make things better for me. So it's not stopping you getting to the bottom. You can still get to the bottom, but you need to go a different way that will be better for you. So I eat what I want when I want, but I'm conscious of it. So I'm making good choices at the moment. I'm not eating rubbish that I don't want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not sitting here at 10 o'clock at night, unable to sleep, head thumping around with 1,000 things and going out and going down to Chippy and getting something to the Chippy, or on the way home, you know, popping in and getting stuff and takeaways and all that kind of stuff. I'm just thinking, right, I can eat what I'm going to eat in the house. Trying my best to make good choices. I was fortunate. I know one of the things we were talking about was alcohol and how much you drink and what have you. And I'm not really a big drinker, but we've had Christmas, we've had the family birthdays, we've had nights out, I've had trips away, I've been away overnight on business and stuff. And you know, you're making good. You're aware of what's happening, and you eat what you want, but you make good choices and you kind of discipline yourself. So it's not a diet. I mean, I eat what I want when I want. You know what I mean?
I agree. It's like education and awareness.
It's absolutely. Yeah. Everybody knows if you eat too much, you'll put weight on. Everybody knows that, but they don't really know why.
Yeah.
They don't really know how much, what's actually happening to you, what it is that you're doing, and it's not like a biology course. Do you know what I mean? It's not a physiology course. Really simple, right? Think about this, do this, make your choices, do that. Just watch, record it, think about it. How do you feel? How does it make you feel?
Once you get control of your stress, them triggers that normally sabotage you and eat and drink, they're gone, aren't they? So
that's what it was. Some of the things, and then it becomes a wheel where you starts or a snowball starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So you start doing that, you start thinking about it a little bit, you lose a little bit of weight, you're maybe not up stressful as much, you go to bed and you sleep. So you sleep better because, I don't know, maybe I remember that before and after pitch, you know, chubby face and you're lying down and it's maybe affecting how you're sleeping and whatever. So my sleep's really improved a lot. And off of that comes a lot more, you know, you are more relaxed, you are more energized, you are more awake, you've got more energy. You know, and things start to go. So it's not a weight loss program. You will lose weight.
47 pounds since we first spoke.
Yeah.
47 pounds, but it's not a weight loss program.
Well, it's not a weight loss program. The thing with that, Chris, as I said to you, I'm a big guy and I had put loads of weight on, you know what I mean? So like anything I did to stop being in that spiral was going to mean that I was going to get myself back to something. Yeah. But I have done well, and I think I'm ahead of target, and I'm sort of doing well and still exercising and still losing sort of some of that weight. But that's because I want to. I can, you know, that's the difference. When now at the end of this, I feel like I can do it. It's up to me. It's what I do. Whereas before, you're sitting there going, there isn't anything I can do. I can't do anything. You know, if I try that, it's not going to make any difference. It's one of my mates, who I told you before, phoned me up, give me a bit of stick. Like, I told him on the phone, I'd said, I've been doing this sort of business transformation thing and behavioural change, and I've lost a wee bit of weight. He said that'll be like moving the deck chairs on the Titanic for you. That's what he said. I'll be like chucking a deck chair off the Titanic. I was like, shh. And then he seen me and he was like, blooming hell, you have lost a bit, you know. So definitely do it. Yeah, everybody. One of the things in my business, you know, when I work with football and I work with players and stuff and that, one of my sort of taglines is, I say, everybody needs someone on their team. Everybody needs someone on their team. You know, it doesn't matter who you are, what standard you're at. You could be the best Premier League players and managers that I've worked with, and And
All
all the
high
way.
performers have got a coach
Yeah,
around them, haven't they?
especially in football, the sport. I know if you ever watch these things and a new manager's been appointed, he doesn't come in on his own. You know,
Yeah.
he'll bring about 10 or 12 people with him, you know, and it's like he doesn't do everything. He needs people to do that and be around him and help him and guide him and whatever. But it's ultimately his neck on the block. And I suppose in business, if you've got employees, it's the same kind of thing. You know, you're the sort of figurehead, and you need people around you that you trust, and you need to be doing things properly. So everybody needs some help, and I don't think there's any embarrassment or shame or anything asking for a bit of help. I think it's actually quite a brave thing, I think, to do.
Brave,
yeah, it's a brave thing to do when you realise that I've been trying this and it isn't working. I think I can sort it out, but I'm just fooling myself. I'm just kidding myself on. And then, as I say, you go in and you sort of self-sabotage any progress you made just to reinforce how difficult it is for you to get better. But I would say, yeah, it's a challenge. It's not. You have to do some stuff on the course, but it's mostly about just some exercises and thinking about things and making these simple changes. And I don't know if you've had any failures. There is no one. I would say there is no one that would sign up for this course and say, right, okay, I'm going to do this for 12 weeks. That at the end of 12 weeks is going to say that was a waste of time. I didn't do it. They're either lying to themselves still because they've not really embraced it.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult, and in a way, it's pretty simple, and it's a lot of the things that you know. But there's something different about having some accountability every week about us chatting like this. And I know we met up. We
had a good time together.
Yeah, and then the one time I was down in the northeast.
Yeah.
You know, there's something about that as a business owner is good. We all run our businesses. We all have stuff in the diary. We all have this. We do that. We've got to do this. Well, this is a good one to have. You know, once a week, I need to do this. I'm going to be doing this, and some things I need to have done. You know, so I'll do them. And then after a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you start to really feel the benefit and the difference. And then as that continues on through the program, there's some challenges thrown in there. I will not spoil it for anyone who gets in touch and says, I was listening to that big Scottish guy, Chris. I want to get cracking. But I won't spoil it. But I mean, there's some challenges in there that are great, that I've embraced, that I do all the time now, that are now part of my sort of daily routine. And you know, I'll leave that up to you to share with them.
So I just want to conclude with the impact it's had on your life in terms of business and family life, like, because there's been some substantial highlights, hasn't there? So
yeah.
Finish with highs.
Definite absolute highs. I've got a clear vision now of what my business will look like next year and what my projects are for next year, and I know that I will achieve them. I'm going to do them, right? Because I know that even if it doesn't go the way that I have vision in my head, I'm clever enough, I'm strong enough, I've got the tools, I can deal with it, and I'll sort it out and I'll get it done. And it's what I want to do. So that's been a big difference. I didn't really have any idea, and I think you and I have thrashed this out over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Just helping me focus exactly what it is that I want to do and go on. And I'm really confident and happy. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Your relationships with your friends, I laugh a lot more. I always did. I always used to think I was quite a good guy to be in the company of. I was quite outgoing and quite chatty. And
I've laughed my arse off all the way through.
Well, we've had some good laughs in it and stuff. And that's what you need to do. So I think I've got a little bit of that back. I've got my business confidence again. You know, I've organised loads of meetings already. I've had loads of meetings. I was telling you once, one of my colleagues, former work colleagues, said to me, Paul's the kind of guy that could go into a room with 50 people in it and come out with 100 business cards, because I would be speaking to everybody in there. I'd just go up and shake your hand. How are you doing? I'm doing this. What do you do? Oh, do you know Thingy? Do you know them as well? All right, well, give me their card. I want to. And that's what I've started doing. And you kind of lose that a little bit, especially if you've got your own business. You kind of
That mojo.
Yeah, the worries of life and the fear of failure and the fear of all the things going wrong can swamp you, can really swamp you and debilitate you and stop you from going forward and doing the things that you know you want to do, knowing the things that you're good at, knowing the things that you started your business in order to achieve. So that's what it is. The relationship with that is good. My relationship with my partner, my daughter, my family, my brother.
Yeah, more connected and present, aren't you?
Yeah. It's kind of strange. I think I'm a lot more tolerant. I don't know if they'll say that. They might not. They might say I'm still the same. I think I'm a lot more tolerant. I think I'm a lot more generous with my time and with my emotions. I think is probably a good way to put it. One of the other things as well that I realised through there is some of the things that were holding you back, some of the things that were causing you problems. It's all right not to do them. It's okay. It's okay to say no to certain things. It's okay to look after yourself. It's okay to prioritize yourself, your family, the things that you look after. Yeah, you want to help people and you want to do things and do it. But should you be doing that to the detriment of your own peace of mind, your own sanity, and your own business and your own family? Yeah, we all want to help people if we can, and I do especially. But there comes a time when you need to look after yourself, and certainly when I signed up for the course, that was that time for me.
And then when you put yourself first, everybody else feels the benefits.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're the best version of you, the chances are that everybody else that's around you that likes you and cares about you, they're going to benefit from that. And if they don't, and they don't like you, well, that's just you and your personality. But it's definitely been good, and I've definitely seen the results, and I'm glad I did it. And I would encourage anybody that's have the chat. You and I had an initial chat, didn't we? We just fixed up the chat and
chat to see
I would encourage people to do that. Chris will help you. It's he'll help you. Phone him up and have a chat with him, and see what he says and see how you feel and see what you do. But I would have no worries about recommending it to anybody. You know what I mean? It's only 3 months. It goes quicker than you think. And during that, we had Christmas and we had a couple of weeks off, and I did as well. And I've told you the story on Christmas Day. I got put to my bed at 10:30, because I'd overindulged. Yeah. But you know what I mean? You can do that. You can
still live life and change your life.
Absolutely. It gives you the tools to handle the modern world, to handle your business life, to handle your thoughts and your stresses and your worries. And, and off the back of that, you eat healthier, you sleep better, you do a little bit more exercise, you're a bit more aware of what you're doing and putting into your body and what you're thinking about. And the results are you will, unless you're super thin and healthy to start with, that, if you're a bit overweight, the weight it'll change, it'll shift, and it'll come off. But it's been good. I've really enjoyed it.
Right. On that note, I appreciate your honesty throughout that. So hopefully some guys tune in. Like, yeah.
Have a go. Have a go. What's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is that you don't make any changes. That's the worst that can happen, that you stay the same as you are now. So it'll be better. There are better times ahead for us all. Yes. Keep saying that. Better times ahead, everyone. Yeah.
Right. Thanks for your time, mate. Appreciate it. And I'm sure we'll keep in touch moving forward. Right.
Cheers, Chris. Speak to you soon. Bye.